how to attack in chess and play like an attacking monster. You need to sacrifice your pieces to get the initiative and reach your opponent's king. Welcome to the 5th episode of the Road to Chess Mastery. Here we learn how to play professional chess, and in this lesson we learn how to be an attacking monster. Like whom? Like the one and only Mikhail Tal, the magician of Riga, my favorite chess player of all time. And this game is one of his best games. He checkmated the chess master in 19 moves with the white pieces. This game has happened in Amsterdam 1964 interzonal, and Tal was playing with the white pieces. Let's go and learn from the magician of Riga. He started this game with pawn to e4. His opponent is Tringov. He was a chess master and he responded with g6, once again trying to fianchetto. In the previous lessons we saw that in the fourth lesson we saw that black played b6, bishop b7. This one is much better than that, but still it does not control the center, and as you can see, Tal is going to control the center. Some players are not going to play like this because they're saying, if I control the center, I need to be responsible for that. My opponent might attack the center, but in chess you need to be responsible. And in attacking mindset, you're going to take all of the responsibilities. So don't be afraid of that. Bishop to g7, fianchetto the bishop. And as we learned, we develop our knights first and make them active in the game. Knight to c3. And in this position, black plays d6, trying to control some central squares. Good move, because if you just play knight f6, white will just kick you off with e5. So you need something. You need some d6. And white just developed the other knight to f3, bringing the knights out. Now the knights are in good squares. And black in this position played pawn to c6. This is not a bad move, but in amateur level, in under 2000, for example, online level, I don't think it's a good move. Don't play like this if you're under 2000, because it does not develop any pieces. It controls some squares, to be honest. And in this position, black is trying to be solid. Some position, black wants to play b5, b4, start an attack on the queen side. But because it does not develop the pieces, it's very risky. And Tal is just going to punish his opponent. He's going to put his pieces in the maximum activity squares. Like in this position, some players will develop the bishop to f4, to e3, but Tal is going to put it into g5 square. Why? Because in this square, it's going to control this diagonal and this diagonal, and it's the maximum active square for this bishop. So in this position, his opponent played a very strange move. He played queen to b6. Don't get me wrong, it's a common idea. When the bishop comes out from c1 and leave this b2 square, then queen to b6, attacking this b2 pawn, is a common pattern in so many lines. Even in Najdorf, we call it poison pawn variation, when you're going to take that pawn. But against whom? He's playing against Mikhail Tal in 1964. 2 or 3 years ago, he was the world champion, and everyone know what an attacking monster Mikhail Tal is. So going for queen b6, queen takes b2, and asking Mikhail Tal to punish him is a very strange decision. I don't know. It's not a good psychological decision, because in chess you need to take into consideration who your opponent is. Okay, if you're playing against Batwinik, yeah, might be a good idea. But again, or Petrossi might be a good idea. They will still punish you in some ways. But against Mikhail Tal, this man's job is to do these things. He's going to sacrifice pawns to opponents like in every single variation. And now you're going to take his pawn. Tal says, of course, willingly, I will just give the pawn to you. Of course, Tal will not play rook to b1. He just plays queen to d2. Do whatever you want. Take it. And if you don't take it, I'll just castle. And your queen b6 is stupid. So you need to take it. Tal asks another question. Rook to b1. Where are you going, my friend? Where are you going? You need to go to a3. And now the rook is on the open line. Everything is active. And in this attacking mindset, you're not going to give material to your opponent, your pawns, your pieces, and just get them back. It's not the mindset. The mindset is to get the quality in the position, get the initiative in the position, get a positional advantage. Do not exchange your good position for materials. So in this position, white is not looking for getting the pawn back. He's just continuing the good play. just continuing to put his pieces in the best squares. And what is the best square for this bishop? Of course, the c4 square. So we learn how to play like Tal. He plays bishop to c4. And his poor opponent in this position thought, okay, I need to run away with my queen. He might catch my queen, and he moved the queen. And look, in this game, black developed the bishop, but moved 3 pawns. And with the queen came here, and now goes here. 4 moves with the queen, 3 moves with the pawn, and only 1 move with the bishop. And in this position, Tal just completes the development with castle. And with castle, we connect the rooks. This rook is even actually in a semi-open line, it's very active, but we connected the rooks and we finished the opening phase of the game. And now, white is just going to start the attack. It's black to move, and it's a very hard position for black. He cannot even finish the development. Like if you're trying to go to short castle, look, black needs 4 moves. Moving the knight, this bishop, this knight, and the castle to be able to finish the development. So black is 4 moves behind and white is 4 moves ahead. And in this position, if you try to finish your development by knight f6 and castle, of course you know what is the best move. The best move in this position is to continue the attack by e5, a great move. You will not let your opponent to run away. So if takes, we will open up files, and then, I don't know, the best move is to just give up the piece because the king is in the center. Bishop h6 is coming, e6 is coming, lots of dangerous ideas are coming, even some positions, knight to b5, knight to d5, sacrificing. Even like if you go here, I can even take on e7, take back, knight to d5, winning the queen. Like there are so many tactics in these positions. So black cannot develop the knight. He was a good player, he was a master of chess. He plays e6, he tries to be solid. Like if you play e5 from now on, I will play d5. And if some positions you play d5, right now it's not possible. I will take on c3, of course. But if some position you manage to play d5, I will close it with d5, with e5. And look how Tal plays in this position. Before starting attack, you need to bring your army into the attack. You need to put your pieces in the best squares. Of course, it depends on the position. We cannot simplify chess that much. In some position, you need to just go for it. You need one tempo. If you lose one tempo, you will lose the attack. But in some positions like this, you just lost the pawn, and your opponent king is in the center, and he's not going to run away very soon, so you need time. And if you have time, and if you don't have a very direct attack, you need to prepare for the future. It's why Tal bring the last piece into the attack, and here he bring the rook to e1. Putting the rook into this square. This game's review chess.com shows 98.6, and the only place that it shows that maybe Tal could have done better is this move, and says rook d1. I don't know. I mean, rook e1 is such a brilliant move, and in this position, white is imagining that in some position, if you get rid of these 2 pawns, and we will see it very, very soon, then this rook will say hello to black's king. In this game, in this position, black he didn't know what to do. Because if you play knight d7, you can find it, I guess, in 5 seconds, white starts and win. Of course, we're just going to take on e7, and after king e7, knight to d5 check, winning the black queen. When you leave your king in the center, you're open up to some tactics like this. So knight d7 is not possible. If you continue to play knight f6, white will also continue the attack. And if you're just trying to take it, I will just trying to take it. And you cannot move the knight to somewhere because here, queen d8 is covered. Okay, knight g4, my fault, but like just something like h3, the knight is trapped. You need to give it on f2. So it's over. It's over, guys. So in this position, black cannot play this. He just plays a6. It's even better. It's the first move, I guess, because it doesn't change the evaluation bar. So a6, black is trying to control some squares, maybe in some position. He's just trying to wait. And Tal in this position shows us how to play the middle game and how to continue the attack. When you're attacking, you need to find your opponent's weaknesses and your strengths. What is black's weakness in this position? His king in the center is a weakness. His king in the center is a weakness, and we need to reach this king. But as you know, if we push, black just plays d5. And we cannot push this one because c3 is hanging. So this is not possible. We can go with some ideas. One of the ideas that engine gives is h4. You can go for h5. It's a very modern kind of attack. Of course, Tal was also able to play like this. But in this position, he goes for another weakness. He finds another weakness in this game, and it's the pawn on d6. a4 was also a nice idea, just continuing the positional grind. But bishop to f4, attacking this d6 pawn. Asking questions to your opponents. When you attack your opponent, you ask questions and they might make mistakes. It's very hard to defend in chess. It's why I tell you to learn how to attack in chess, because when you attack, it's much simpler to play. And when you're defending, it's much harder. So in this position, Black just blunders. Like a very good chess player in this position blunders. He should have played queen to c7, running away. I will go with a4 is probably because preventing b5 in so many lines, but h4 I will go with it. Some positions h5, and white will continue, and some position might goes with d5, even continuing with this a4. White is just much better. He doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't need to prove. He has the better position, and he at one point the attack will justify. But in the game, Black makes a very big sin in chess. Like in this position, you cannot play like this. And we saw it in the previous episodes also. When you are behind in development, you are not supposed to open the center. When your opponent is fully developed and your pieces are not developed, you are not supposed to open the center. You are not allowed to open the center. But in this position, Black plays e5. Oh my God, what are you going to do, bro? You're going to open up the center? And White says, just give it to me. I will open up. Of course I will open up. And after takes back, Black might thought, okay, I will go with knight e7 very soon, or knight f6, the queen is covering here. I will castle and run away. But not against Mikhail Tal. You are playing against Mikhail Tal. And in this position, Tal plays one of the most beautiful moves of all times in chess, I will say. It's a very hard move to find. It's in many chess websites and books, it's a puzzle. You can stop the video here and think if you can find what Tal found in this position. It's a brilliant idea. I just saw so many ideas like this. Like usually brilliant moves are coming with sacrificing directly or something. But in this position, Tal just plays a very, very stunning move. Of course, just moving the bishop was also okay. But his opponent is attacking the bishop and asking this question. And Tal says, okay, you can take this, but you can take one more thing also. He plays queen to d6. He says, you can take my bishop and you can take my knight. It's your choice. It's a very interesting. It doesn't allow Black's king to run away. And it's now preparing some kind of bishop takes f7. Bishop takes f7 before this was not working, if you wondered. Because after knight g5, Black king just goes back to e8. And we don't have a continuation for the attack. But with queen d6, we bring the queen, like checking with like a knight to the Black king, saying hello. I will see you very soon. But Black is lost in this position. He cannot run away. If he takes on the f4, it's very nice to see this line. In the game, he takes on c3. If he takes on f4, look at this move, knight to d5. And here you can see why this rook e1 is the best move. It is one of the moves that White should have played. Because if he takes here, now he takes e5. Hello, Black king. Finally, I meet you. And it's over. Bishop e6, d takes e6. You don't need to justify. It's just over. It's mate in 5. Like, Black king is checkmate. It's worse than checkmate. So, you cannot play like this. In the game, he takes here. Doesn't matter. Whatever you play, the e5 is hanging in this position. So, you don't have so much choice. If you lose e5, you lose the game. So, he takes on c3. And in this position, he was wondering what... It's still bishop f7, knight king f7, knight g5, king e8. White doesn't have a follow-up. It's okay, might be some knight d6. Okay, maybe he was calculating that. But Tal plays a very calm move in this position. He just plays rook to d1. Trying to checkmate. The rook changed the spot. And now rook to d8, queen to d8 check is coming. and black is not able to defend it. If you play bishop d7, just rook b7, just put this on the board and it's over. Rook b7, rook d7 is coming. So it's not possible. Black plays knight to d7, and here where Tal delivers the checkmate in 5 moves. Can you spot it? Tal goes for it. He just goes with bishop takes f7 check, a great move. You need to take back. And in this position, white plays knight to g5 check, king to e8, and queen to e6 check. And his opponent actually resigned in the 17th move in this game. He saw that it's checkmate in 2. If you go this way, knight f7, queen d6 is just a checkmate. The black king, this rook on b1, look at it. It doesn't allow the black king to run away. All of the pieces are in the attack. And this line is even more beautiful. If you go here, queen f7 check, and checkmate with a knight to the black king, and Tal just checkmated his opponent like this. Let's review the game. e4. We have the modern opening. It's not such a bad opening. In this position, if you play it, don't play it like that. Like if you're trying to play, just play knight d7, queen c7. It's very, very hard to play it. I won't suggest this kind of openings. Just play the main lines, good lines. And here he just went for taking that pawn. A crazy idea, and Tal just punished it. Just developing the pieces, just castle, bringing all of the pieces into the attack, and then start the attack by attacking your opponent's weaknesses by bishop f4, attacking this pawn. Black should have moved the queen once again, but he decided to get some space. But you're not allowed to open up the center when you're behind in development, and here where the brilliance of the game comes. But it's all a follow-up of previous play by white. He put all of his pieces in the best square, all of the pieces into the attack, and now he's able to play such a move. So it's important how you play before that. We saw this, and in the game he takes here, rook here, knight to d7, and now this bishop cannot watch this e6 square, and bishop comes, says hello, knight comes, says hello, queen comes, says hello, and black just resigned the game, says goodbye, because here there is a checkmate. I hope you enjoyed this game. If you like this kind of classical games, we have another video which I completely describe these 3 important rules in chess that you should know. It's a Spaasky game in 1971. What a game. You can go and watch it. It's here. You can just click it, and the link is also in the descriptions. Enjoy chess and life.